Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, I could hear that.
Hey, I bet you could. Motherfucker.
Shut up.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! That was me
Kevin
this whole
Conroy
thing.
is the worst. One of the worst.
worst.
Batmans. One of the worst Batman.
Okay, buddy, you're literally living in an alternate universe where like this dude, he doesn't play Batman. He is Batman.
Well, listen to me when I tell you I don't have any nostalgia connected to this. I can just say
There's
that.
no.
No. You
There's
have
no nostalgia.
Yeah, you watch.
There's
no
series.
nostalgia
I didn't-
if
You
haven't
play with your
seen it
little
enough.
boy show. Okay.
My little boy
show.
show. Oh, you're trying to do a
Meanwhile,
callback
you're
to when I
watching
called your little boy
Recess
baseball
and
movies.
Rugrats, and you call
When
it
they
a
literally
boys' movie?
star little boys, motherfucker.
But Batman is for little boys in that show. I'm telling you, Michael Keaton and Christian Bale,
Chris, do you wanna
and
do
even
it-
Bruce Greenwood. They're better. They're better Batman.
Chris,
Yeah.
They're more tortured.
Do you want to do a two-man show tonight?
Honestly, yeah.
I can kick Brandon out of the server.
Please don't.
Please don't do that to me.
I worked hard today.
Oh, Brandon, it's just so annoying. It's so confusing.
Like,
These are
that-
confusing times. It's such
Yeah.
the weirdest. It's the weirdest take I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that before. Because, like, universally,
No.
as far as I've been around, like, Kevin Conroy is, like, beloved amongst Batman fans as, like, the best voice, at least.
Which is why I was so disappointed when I saw The Mask of the Phantasm.
Okay, but that's the thing. You haven't seen enough yet. You've seen, like, his okay
I've seen
work
enough.
at most.
Okay.
You've seen his okay work. I would put like a whole season's worth of episodes are better than Mask of the Phantasm.
Right, yeah, agreed.
Right? There's so
I'm just
much
trying to think,
better material.
What could you compare? Like, it's like saying, like Johnny Depp is, like, an awful actor, but not having seen Pirates of the Caribbean or anything like that. Like, only seeing his, like, B movies or whatever.
But he's better
It's like
than the B movie.
It's like saying Christopher Walken's a bad actor, but only have seen the movie Communion.
There you go.
Did we open this episode?
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Stack.
I don't know how I'm gonna like start this episode because you literally went from your clap sync to just these horrendous takes.
Yeah.
But yeah, welcome to Stacked. Welcome to Stacked.
It's episode 11.
11. We've gone over the first 10 episodes, so we're in the double digits now. Well, we were last episode, but now like we're in it. We're here to commit it. I'm Ethan. That over there is Brandon.
Oh.
And I'm
And that
Chris.
over there is, and that's Chris over there. We're right there and over there. I'm pointing. Yeah, it's been a while since we've actually recorded. This is the longest break in between recording sessions because we recorded the last episode, not the past Saturday, but the one before that one.
Yeah, like a week and a half almost, I think.
Week and a half ago, yeah.
Yeah.
So lots has probably happened. Well, Chris, what have you been doing in these long dog
I'm trying
days?
to think, like, well, in terms of, like, day-to-day life, everything's just kind of been, like, quiet, just kind of hanging out, seeing my friends every now and then. In terms of movies, though, I've been doing okay. I finally got to watch The Foreigner and The Disaster Artist, which I've always been meaning to. Like, those were, like, definitely those movies that, like, you always have the intention of seeing in theaters, but your schedule just didn't quite work out or whatever. It just didn't quite hit for you. I binge watched I don't know if binge is the right word, but I rewatched the Star Wars prequels recently with Ryan and Allie, and that was a lot of fun. It was really fun, just kind of like enjoying like this like kind of like almost like special part of Star Wars now, because you know it feels a lot more like there's like a hidden gem in here rather than like being flooded with content and saturation all the time. But yeah, it was a good time. I had a good time with my movies the like last couple of days.
Very nice. Yeah, Star Wars prequels. It's sort of, I don't know. They've just become like accepted as things now, you know?
Yeah.
Like they're there. People aren't as violently horrified by them these days. They're using that energy now for the sequels and The Rise of Skywalker.
The newest
No.
thing. will be
the newest
murdered.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now they're just there, and like the people who enjoy them can like enjoy them in peace, and yeah, Brennan, what's up with you? What did you do this week? These past weeks or whatever.
Mostly political stuff online, but and as far as movies go, I'm catching up on all the Best Picture movies right now. So any movie that's won Best Picture, I'm on a marathon of those. I just watched Dances with Wolves today, the 4-hour cut that my dad has on DVD, which was that was it was a good watch. It's just that whenever you watch something 4 hours, you have to like mentally prepare yourself for it, or like kind of file the day away for a 4-hour movie. Like you could watch like a few 1.5 hour, 2 hour movies back to back, and it's fine. But to devote, yeah, but to devote, yeah, but to devote like one day to a 4-hour movie seems more appropriate. And it was really good. I was really impressed by it. Like a lot of people have compared it to Avatar. And while I could see like
and Ferngully.
Yeah, I could see like why they do that, but I don't really think they're that similar of movies. Like thematically maybe, but not in terms of like the actual plot. And like it does something cool with the nuances of being Native American versus being somebody who is like an immigrant or somebody fighting for a cause that they don't necessarily believe in. But yeah, doing that. It's good stuff.
Nice. Let's see. Well, this week I went back to Utah just for a hot sec to help move some stuff around. Had some business there to take care of. Watched some great movies. Joey, friend of the show, he told me to watch the movie After Hours, the Scorsese film, and quite honestly, an underrated gem. Like I don't think I've ever been so surprised with the director's work than with After Hours. Yeah, I loved it. Brandon watched it like the following day, and it's just fucking around, watching good movies. Watched Mother, not Mother. That's how you gotta say it. And I watched a really good documentary about the making of Alien. I watched it on the plane back home. Ugh, I had to go on a plane. It was awful. But yeah, I watched a documentary about the making of Alien. Super interesting stuff. Definitely want to rewatch that film in the future because like I think I haven't seen Alien since I've been like since I've taken real like courses on breaking down movies and stuff like that, and pulling apart these themes, and this documentary really like opened up like these really interesting things about the film.
I have a box set.
You have a box set?
I have a box set of the original 4 movies on Blu-ray, and I've got the 2 anthology discs which has like making of special features, so maybe we can go through that.
Hell yeah. I only have Alien on Blu-ray, but the rest are on HBO Max, so.
Oh, okay.
So I don't need you. I'm just kidding. No, I'd love to go through this with you. Maybe not watch Alien 3 again. I don't really like that one. But I've never seen Resurrection, so. And I do want to rewatch Aliens. Because I think I was underwhelmed the first time I watched Aliens.
Aliens is the best Alien movie. So
Yeah, I agree.
it's just the
I
best.
don't know.
Like it's the story that is like the fullest, and like it has like a bunch of tonal shifts
It's
that work.
It's just like it's a really great action movie, but that's like all there is to it. Like there's so much like that I could talk about, like the first Alien, that I can't really talk about with the second Alien. I'm like, yeah, those are cool sequences,
I'm not going to disagree that I think Alien is still a masterclass in horror and sci-fi, but like I think they do add a lot to Ridley's character in the second one.
Ripley, not Ridley.
Yeah. Sorry,
Ridley Scott.
Sorry, thinking
Ridley Scott's
thinking of my
character. He
girlfriend's
comes into
dog.
the movie world.
So
Your girlfriend's dog.
yeah, shout out to Ridley.
Shout out to Ridley. Number 1 Stacked fan. I don't know. Ridley, hope you're listening out there.
She listens.
Okay.
You fuck.
I said hope you're listening out there.
No.
I didn't even gender the dog.
Okay. Play it back.
Are we keeping that in?
I will play it back here.
Really hope you're listening out there.
See, I said your. Okay, enough of that. Let's get to the actual show. All right. So today's theme is all about road trip movies. Road trip movies. We're getting in the car, we're grabbing our bags, and we're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship. No rocket
Going
ships.
through the sky.
Little Einstein.
Holy shit. You killed our viewers. There's going to be a headphone advisory on this video.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, yeah, that's our theme, but let me get into how this show works for all the uninitiated, all the uninformed. Once a week, we set a topic or theme and go our separate ways to construct our own 3-film stack. Then after a week, we come back here on the podcast and share our own stacks, one film at a time. Then at the end of the show, we mix and match our 9 films to make the ultimate decision on what quintessential 3-film stack we are checking out of this hypothetical video store. Boom. There we go. That's the stack. Okay. Let's see. Who's going first? Chris.
Okay.
It's up to you, baby.
Cool.
You're going first with our first road trip movie. Let's hit it.
So, honestly, I was kind of nervous for this episode because when we picked it, I came to the realization that I actually don't know that many road trip films. I did a lot of Googling to see if I can find any that I remember. But sure enough, I ended up coming up with an okay list at least. So I'm going to open up this episode with a pick that I think it's one of those movies that everyone's heard of, but very, very few people have seen. I know Brandon's seen it. And Ethan, I feel like you would have seen this, but maybe not. It's a 2005 film directed by Brian Levant. I guess that's how you pronounce it. It stars Ice Cube. It's Are We There Yet?
Are we there yet?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So let me just quickly break this down. Basically, Ice Cube is this very eccentric, ostentatious guy, really into high fashion, nice cars and whatnot. And he meets this girl, and they fall in love, and he wants to maintain a strong relationship with her. But the catch is she actually comes with 2 kids of her own, and they do not like him very much. And basically, hijinks ensue when the woman needs to go on a business trip, and he kind of has to become the guardian for these children up until he meets up with her in like another city, like kind of far away, hence the road trip. Okay, so I mean, yeah, this movie is
Is
having a
what?
good time.
I'm running out of things to say about it.
Wow, you just started.
I mean, like, okay, so there's this,
You just said the movie title, Chris.
there's this scene where one of the kids really has to take a piss, and he's like literally like this close to taking a piss in Cube's car. So
It's like, don't pee in my car.
don't piss in my car. He picks up the kid like by like his armpits and like runs him into like a gas station bathroom.
And pees in the sink.
And it's like it's kind of like this kind of like offbeat, weird, but also like kind of like bizarrely entertaining comedy that kind of like flows through this entire movie. But at the end of it all, there's actually at least a little bit of a heart to this film in the sense of like the kids coming to learn like what it is to be like what like this means to him and like how how to like move forward in their in what I don't know how to describe this. I'm gonna have to cut this out. Jesus Christ. Just like them trying to move forward with their lives after the passing of their father, I believe. And yeah, and also it's also about Ice Cube learning how to be a kid and like embracing like a playful side of himself. I can see Brandon already shaking his head.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, Ethan, have you seen this movie?
No, I haven't seen this.
Have you heard of this movie?
I have definitely heard of this movie.
Okay.
This
So,
kid.
Iconic.
Yeah, I've heard of this kid. It's a kid's movie.
all right. Well, I'm honestly starting to run out of things to say. So, Brandon, why don't you take that?
I am so tired of this single parent hate in movies or single boyfriend or whatever, where it's like, in Cheaper by the Dozen, how they like shit on Ashton Kutcher for being her boyfriend or engaged like fiance, or in Are We There Yet, when Ice Cube is like hated by the kids like because like they're sad that their dad passed away. like I don't like the trope because it's just like so predictable and obvious. I mean, like yeah, the hijinks are fun from time to time, but as a movie as a whole, it doesn't really have much to say. Like you're hinting at a little bit of a message there, but whoo,
No, yeah,
yeah,
I do definitely acknowledge this. If I'm gonna be completely
it's a
honest,
lot like Click.
yeah, I suppose like it's one of those like if you gotta dig for it, and there's a good message there, but you gotta dig. Yeah, I mean like I'll be completely honest. This was kind of like my throwaway pick. Like, this is kind of just like a fun one I wanted to throw in there just so we can have this discussion. Because the thing is, I've never watched this with anyone other than my brother, and I don't think I've ever talked about this movie before. I know Joey.
Clearly.
Yeah, I know, right? I know Joey has a list on Letterboxd where it's like ranking the duology of Are We There Yet films, which is there's like a sequel. This is like,
Are we done yet?
like are we like still not there or something? I don't know how you.
Are we?
Are we still not there? That's the title of my autobiography. Are we still not? And it's me, like, it's a photo of me walking through the cities of the streets of Rome, just like looking around at the artifacts.
Now for sale at Barnes
Still
and Noble.
not there. A memoir by Ethan Williams.
Yep. Well, that's my first pick.
This is an iconic movie, though. Like every kid knows about.
People know of this movie at least, even if they haven't seen it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's international. Huh?
Yeah,
I saw it in Hong
What?
Kong.
sure.
Is it really?
How do I know about it? Huh?
Oh, that's right.
Ugh.
It's a Portland, Oregon movie.
Cody.
We gotta stop shouting out Cody. He hates it. All right, that's a pick, Chris. I don't know if it's good or bad because I've never seen it, so I'm just gonna say that's a pick. All right, me next. Me. Oh, me. All right.
It's not all
My-
about you. Doctor Strange and Agent once said that.
Okay. All right, my first road trip film. It's not. It's not necessarily a road trip as in vacation. Like you'd think of people going on a road trip because they have to go either like if on a vacation like across the country, or they're like going somewhere. This is a business trip, but for this, it's a businessman driving across the Californian desert, and he runs into some trouble, and it causes some intense hijinks, and that's Steven Spielberg's first feature film, Duel. Boom, 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 boom. So yeah, like I said, it's about a dude. He has to get to do some business. I think he's driving to Los Angeles, and he makes some stops along the way and stuff like that. And while he's there, while he's on the road, he runs into like this mysterious oil tanker that just, it seems like his goal is just to like ruin this dude's day. And the whole movie is just this dude in a state of panic and anxiety over this truck and rage. And what I love about this movie is it does like perfectly capture like the anxieties of like driving on the road and having to deal with like shitty people on the road. What the fuck was that? What did you just do? Brandon looked like he was about to eat his microphone. Oh. All right. Yeah.
Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't.
This is like our slowest episode ever. We're just like so distracted.
We're so I'm not distracted. Well, he's distracting me.
I'm
All
looking
right.
up the director of the first. film.
I'm looking up the director of the movie that you just talked about.
Let me
Who's
tell you.
Steven Spielberg? All right. But yeah, my movie is Duel. Very fun movie. It captures the heat of being in a hot car in the desert and like the road rage. It's a grounded road rage film, like a Mad Max movie. And yeah, it's a fun action flick. Brandon's shaking his head, but I know he really likes this movie, so I'm so curious to see what he thinks.
I love
what do you
this
think?
movie. I adore this movie. It's not a road trip movie. There's no destination.
Yes, there is. He's going on a business trip.
Yeah, but he doesn't get there. He doesn't get
So wait,
there.
is-
A road
is-
trip
You
has
don't
a
know that.
destination.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Neither do
is-
you.
Is Mad Max a road trip then?
No.
But there's a destination and
Oh yeah, there is. Now Mad Max is more of a road trip movie.
This is a road trip movie. What the
No.
fuck are you talking about?
No, it's not. That's why I X'd it out of my. I don't think it's a road trip movie because he doesn't make it to the destination. Yes, there's a lot of car driving, but there's no destination at the end to make the sense of. It's not a trip if he doesn't go anywhere. It's just like
He
He's
does. He
driving.
goes.
I love the movie. I think it's got great tension. I think it's honestly one of Spielberg's best movies because it doesn't require.
He's driving on the highway to get from one place to another, making stops at gas stations and diners. What part of road trip is that? Does that not qualify for your definition, buddy?
Because he doesn't get somewhere. He doesn't get to his destination. Lord of the Rings is a better road trip movie than this. Ethan is about to die or kill me or something because this is.
I'm so sick of your shit today.
It's fine. It's
I feel like a first grade teacher right now. I'm so fucking sick of you and your fucking denials. This is a fucking road trip movie. What more do you want? You want him to actually get to the location?
yes.
Okay, spoilers for Duel. He like defeats the truck. It goes off the edge, and you're like, you think everything's gonna be okay, and he goes on his fucking merry way, and you're like, okay, he's fine. He's gonna go to the destination.
I disagree. Because he doesn't get there in the
God.
movie.
I thought I picked. This was the movie that I was gonna pick to be like, okay, Brandon might just let me have this on the quintessential stack. I know he's not gonna like any of my other ones, so I picked this one.
Whoops.
Whoopsies. Oh my god. Chris,
we
have
haven't
you
heard
seen?
your other
I don't. I know you're gonna shit on my other movie. You think that movie's good, but you're gonna say, and Chris, you haven't seen this movie, but what do you think? What do you think, huh? What do you
mean,
think of this movie? Do you think,
well-
from what I've described it, do you think it's a road trip movie?
Here's the thing about road trip films as a subgenre. It's very it's one of the
Help
things
us
where
define it.
it's very loose. Now here's the thing. We had the same issue with like describing not what was the theme last week?
Coming of age.
Coming of age. Like that was one of the genres that we were kind of like, what does that mean? Like, do you have to be a kid to become a teenager to adult? What does that mean? So it's kind of like you kind of have to like just strip it down to like the barest version of what a road trip is. I think here's so part one, the road. It has to have like a car, a vehicle of some land related vehicle.
A land-based vehicle. Yeah.
And it has to have movement from one it has to have like a destination as a goal.
Mm-hmm.
So
There's a goal in this movie.
I don't necessarily think.
Do you think
that
they have to
it
achieve the
requires-
goal though?
I don't necessarily think you need
Yeah.
to achieve the goal. I think you have to. I think it's
The road trip is in the Duel movie is not the reason for the movie.
Okay, but think about it like this. Brandon, you take a road trip from Arizona to Yosemite, but
And we should have a movie about it.
But you derail and you accidentally end up in Bakersfield. It's still a road trip. You just went to a different place.
Nah, it's not until it's the set.
But it's still a
destination.
trip, isn't it?
So it's gonna be like he tries. To
Okay,
get
so
back.
what do you call it when you're driving on the road and you get to Bakersfield? You're like, yeah, I just went on I got here somehow. I don't know how I got here. I just appeared here. I didn't take a road trip. I just appeared in Bakersfield. If I was taking a road trip, then I would have had this as a destination. Obviously, I'm from Arizona, but I'm here in Bakersfield now.
That's a destination.
What's your movie, Brandon? What's your first road trip movie?
My first road trip movie is 1953's The Wages
Oh
of
my
Fear
God.
by
I don't
Henry-
care. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care about 1953's The Waitress.
That was the
Oh
least
my
interesting.
God.
I said
thing
The
you could've
Wages
said.
of Fear. The Wages.
Wages.
Of Fear.
No, you said The Waitress of Beer. All right,
I-
Chris.
Chris.
What's he?
The Waitress of Beer. I never heard of this.
All right, The Waitress of Fear.
No, The Wages of Fear.
The Waitress of Beer.
All right, The Cages of Deer. All right, what's it about?
It's this movie about these truckers who have to make it across South America with nitroglycerin, which is highly explosive, to a destination where they could get a better life from the payday for this job. So essentially, they have to trek all the way through this jungle, through these mountains, and make sure that they don't hit any big bumps along the way to make die, because they'll die if they hit something, because everything will explode in their truck. And also it's a lot like Speed with Keanu Reeves. Like you gotta be safe, you gotta be careful, there's a lot of tension. It's a great movie.
Do they make it in the end?
I'm not gonna say anything.
So no. Therefore,
Therefore.
Ethan's film is
Sorry, this
legible.
isn't a road trip movie.
I can't spoil my movie.
I don't think. Okay, so they're truckers, right? This is their job.
Yeah.
So they're always on road trips if they're doing that. Like this, what's the occasion of them going on this trip? If this
They're
is their
not
job.
always. This is a one-time job.
I don't know.
it's
They're
expensive.
truckers. I wouldn't consider truckers going on road trips. That's just them doing their job. They're trucking. They're not road tripping.
He's really mad.
I'm fed. I am.
He's fed up.
I'm
love
fed
Duel.
up.
Ethan, I love Duel.
It's a road trip movie. I can't with you. It's a road trip movie. I can't with you.
Google it, and if Google says it's a road trip movie, I will accept.
All right, here we go. 25 best road trip movies ever from Film School Rejects.
No,
Duel,
no.
1971.
I said Google, not Duel, not freaking.
Google's not gonna give me a fucking yes or no. It's not the magic conch shell. It's gonna link me to articles of people saying that it is a road trip movie.
What number is it?
There's no numbers. It's 25 of them.
Oh, okay, that's fair. I'll accept
It's
your
it's the third one on the list. If that makes you feel any better.
I just think a road trip movie has a set destination. The point of the movie is to get to the location. You know, it's about the journey, but also about the location. Just as much. Because are we there yet? They're going somewhere.
So
They
are
have
you
a set-
saying, are we there yet? It has a better chance of making it to final stack than Duel.
I would say that, but I like Duel way more. I'm not trying to shut you out, Ethan. I'm really not.
Fucking.
I'm just really strict on my definition here.
Destination: salesman David Mann is driving through the Mojave Desert for work. Journey: in Steven Spielberg's directorial feature debut, this everyman protagonist is a mild-mannered husband and father who must unleash his survival instincts when he is targeted seemingly at random by a maniacal truck driver who tries to kill him. Come for the thrill, stay for the lesson. At the very beginning, Spielberg had incredible high-intention spend. Okay, that's it. It's a road trip movie, Brandon. I don't know what more you want from me. It's a lot in this room, and I'm so emotional.
Okay, I'll accept your
What
definition.
more do you want from me?
Are you
Okay.
Are you Jim Carrey?
Yeah, you
I
really
don't
went into like Batman Forever Jim Carrey for a second.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Now, is that a
It's
horny
better
Batman
than
movie?
Batman. It's better
pretty
than
Shut-
Batman
no.
Returns.
I'm so close to ending this podcast and just putting out a 30-minute podcast that's incomplete,
No.
and just going to bed because I'm just so done with you two. Not you, Chris. I'm less done with you, but
Less
I'm
done.
pretty done with you because you had to bring that up. I can't believe you do this to me. Okay, that's it. That's just gonna be it. Okay, so my second movie was Duel. There we go. For 30 minutes in, I got to my second movie. Oh, and Brandon's movie was Wages of Fear. Okay, Chris and I haven't seen that movie. Sure. Okay, Chris, what's your second movie on the stack?
All right, so my second movie is I think one that I think we all very much like.
Hey,
It is a classic film I think for our like generation of like film people.
a
I think we
modern
watched it
classic.
modern classic I think. Uh, what else? We saw this in a movie night together. It is a 2009 film directed by Ruben Fleischer. It stars, you'll know immediately when I say the stars, Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, Emma Stone, and Abigail Breslin. It's Zombieland.
Yeah, a lot of zombie movies are road trip movies, and this one's a
Yeah.
really good one.
This
Yeah,
is a good road trip movie.
So,
Yeah, sure it is, bud.
so we have these four characters: Columbus, Tallahassee, Wichita, and Little Rock, and each of them have a destination that they're trying to head towards. And it's throughout their journey that they intersect for a little period of that journey, and they start to learn about like like what it is to like work as a team and make it through this long tumultuous journey through a zombie wasteland. um yeah, I mean, this is like just such a fun film. I really love the whole like, what is it Columbus's like what 100 something rules to surviving a zombie apocalypse. That's always really fun.
Yeah.
I love like it's like little bits of like meta like comedy that like everyone knows like, hey, when you kill a zombie you gotta take it out at the head. But like thing is, that's not really something that we've ever like really been directly told. It's always just been implied through like film and video games and whatnot. So like, yeah, it's cool like they're addressing stuff like that and like just talking about like just pop culture and like how what would our generation be like if we were thrown into a zombie apocalypse. There's still memes, there's still like jokes, there's still stupidity. So like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think
What-
of this movie?
What I love about this movie is it takes. I don't think I've ever maybe Cabin in the Woods does this, but like it takes the tropes of its genre and it uses those tropes as something necessary to like essential to the plot.
Right.
So we have his journal is basically the tropes of zombie movies, and he uses those as a way to survive. So like, you got to make sure to double tap because if you kill a zombie movie, or not a zombie movie, if you kill a zombie in a zombie movie, odds are they come back. So you got to double tap, and you always got to be ready to run. There's always people that are not like able to run in zombie movies from zombies, and stuff like that. And it was really brilliant. Like, people were getting pretty tired of the zombie genre during that time, and this was just really a breath of fresh air by like addressing like how the sameness of zombie movies could be, but at the same time making something very fun for audiences. Brandon?
It's good to have something light when you're discussing this kind of stuff. I love the original Zombieland. I think we watched it together because you guys hadn't seen it before.
Yeah.
And I liked it a little bit less than I did the first time I watched it, but like nonetheless I still enjoyed it. It's a great road trip movie. It has a lot of heart and meaning to it, especially for a comedy where it like tackles like enjoying the little things and being alone in this world and recovering from losses that you've sustained. Even some of the more serious zombie movies really don't pay attention to that stuff. I mean, Walking Dead, which isn't a movie, but like the TV show for the first 3 seasons, I think, really got that. But it was nice to see a comedy handle that. And I think Zombieland came out like the same year as that. And it was fun to see two different genres kind of be dissected by these two pieces of media. And I really appreciate it. Great road trip movie, though. So
There we go. All right, great pick. All right, next is me. So my second road trip movie is not necessarily by car, but by train, right? This is, I'd say, an underrated film in this director's filmography. I forgot the word, filmography. It stars Owen Wilson, Adrian Brody, and who's the last guy? What's his name? Jason Schwartzman. Sorry, it's Darjeeling. The Darjeeling Limited.
Double stack.
What?
Double stack.
My
Woo!
favorite Darjeeling.
Yes. All right. This is
Just when
fucking
you
sick.
just when you thought I.
Just when I thought I was out, Chris helps me and pulls me back in, baby. The energy is there. I'm ready. Okay, so what I love about this movie is what I think is essential for a road trip movie is the characters' arcs have to make a change. Like as the locations progress, you know? So you have these three brothers. Their father just died, and Owen Wilson has tricked their brothers into coming on this trip, thinking that it's just going to be a trip, but they're actually going to see their mom, right? And it's a dysfunctional family. Wes Anderson loves those, you know, and you have to watch these characters go across these beautiful locations of India, to the mom might be. I don't remember where.
I think it's a monastery in like Southeast.
It's
Asia.
it's a monastery somewhere, but yeah, I love it. Like it points out all the like some great stuff from road trip movies. Like Owen Wilson there's always like the big planner on a road trip, you know, like Owen Wilson has like the itineraries, they're laminated and shit like that. He orders for everybody, you know, and you just get these three distinct personalities of people on a road trip. One person who's like, he's in it to build the relationship. There's the control freak, and there's just the one that like doesn't care about it at all and like kind of doesn't want to be there. But throughout this trip, like they have to like come together and find what makes them family. You know, find those commonalities, and yeah. I really like this movie. I don't think it's talked about enough in Wes Anderson's filmography. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I do honestly think this is kind of like a quiet, like underrated, like no, maybe not necessarily underrated, but like a quiet, like, you know, a little like shiny little gem in Wes Anderson's already like infamous, collection of films. One thing I actually found myself really enjoying when I watched this was like, I personally, I can't speak for all families, but like I really felt like a similarity between the three brothers and my two siblings. Like the dynamic and the way they like interact with each other, how like they butt heads a lot, and like, but there's also like, even when they're arguing, you can tell like it's like there's like love there as well, and like they care for each other, but like it's almost like their differing personalities stop them from being able to really express themselves that way, I guess.
Which one are you out of the three?
Oh God, that's hard to say. I would like to think I'm Adrian Brody. But I don't know. I'm probably Owen, to be honest.
The planner.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like this is a really like, I think like amongst all of Wes Anderson's films, at least that I've seen, because I haven't seen Isle of Dogs, is I think this might be his most like, if I had to say like quote unquote exotic film in terms of like the setting, the way it's shot, the way it's like kind of composed and created. It's so it feels like there's like almost like an Eastern energy to it, even though it does still have that kind of like Wes Andersonism touch that like, you know, some people love it, some people hate it, but like, yeah, I mean, it's always funny. It's also just funny to me that like we like 5-6 episodes ago now, like I was talking mad shit about him, but like here I am.
Crazy.
But yeah, I mean, like this is a fun movie.
One of my favorite things about it, just one last thing before Brandon speaks his piece, is like you said, like there are these Andersonisms, but like with sort of an Eastern twist, and I think it's especially seen in his soundtrack. So Wes Anderson, like a lot of things he does, he uses like classic rock to use in his films, and you do see that in this movie. Like you have some songs by the Kinks and the Rolling Stones and stuff like that. But what he also does is he takes soundtracks and musical numbers from Bollywood, like old Bollywood films, like, and he has them just like diegetically playing in the film sometimes, you know, or non-diegetically, but Yeah, like my dad raised me on the soundtrack before I even saw the film, so I knew all the songs going in when I saw it for the first time, and I had no idea it was from this movie. So I was like, "Oh shit, it's this song! Oh my god, what the hell? This is like for the first 5 songs, I was like, wow, this is a really weird coincidence. I know all these songs. I'm just like, these are all the Indian songs I know." And my dad's like, "Yeah, that's because I played the soundtrack for you when you were a baby." When I was a baby, this came out in 2007. When you were 8 years old.
Ethan,
You're
I don't know
laying
why I
in like
said
your
baby.
fucking crib crying.
Did you know I didn't learn how to speak until I was 9? I'm just kidding.
You got it. You're like 8 years old, like with a rattle.
Yeah, I learned to walk when I was 14. Fun fact. No, that's not. I don't know.
Ethan's still working on pissing standing up.
I'm still working on that. But, well, hey, we'll see what happens. Brandon, what do you think about this movie?
You know, I would agree. It's probably Wes Anderson's most overlooked movie because it's a movie that combines his post like early 2000s and pre early 2000s work together. You know, the post 2000s work is more like dreamlike and like pastel colored, but the pre 2000s uses real locations and like it also like has a mixture of like the actors that he's used to using, which is very strange to see like all three of Adrian Brody and Owen Wilson and Jason Schwartzman all have these like big roles in a movie. They don't fit together, but they for some reason fit perfectly as brothers. You know,
Right.
like you really feel that like the brotherly love there, and if you didn't know who the actors were and you showed this to a kid and they were like, "Oh, like they like really are like brothers, aren't they?" And I would believe it 100%. Um I it's a really solid movie, good emotional conclusion, definitely one of his most overlooked. The road trip aspect of the film is also really great because you get to see a lot of, I think the benchmarks of a road trip movie are sometimes you get to see a lot of locales, unless you try and go outside the box. But you know,
Right.
I love that you get to see a lot of exotic locations and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's something you really don't see with road trips. It's always usually like the American countryside when you think of a road trip, you know?
I don't mind that.
But, yeah, it's not a bad thing, but like, it's nice to get out of the U.S. and have a road trip there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, so that's my second film. Brandon, take us into your number 2.
My number 2 is 2013's Lock from A24.
Wait, is this that Tom Hardy film where it's
Oh.
only in the car?
Oh my god, okay. Brandon, he doesn't really make it to his
Yes,
destination.
he does. The last scene of the movie.
You don't
last
see it.
scene.
You
the
don't
last
see,
scene.
You
Look at
don't
the-
see
no,
it.
you do.
You don't see
I
it.
will show
you
you the
don't.
clip.
You don't see him walk into that hospital.
I'm gonna show you.
Brandon, I'm sorry. I don't see that man walk into the hospital at the end of that movie, so I don't really know if that's a road trip movie. Okay.
You're incorrect.
Listen, I would agree with you, but according to your definition, that you have to see the location.
You do. See
I don't
the
see.
location.
You don't see him step out of that car and get into the hospital. So for all I know, I don't know if he made it. I don't know if he made it to the hospital. You see him pull over and you see the hospital, but you don't know if he gets inside. Sorry, not a road trip. Sorry, sucker. All right, talk about the movie.
It's a movie that takes place all in a car, and it's about you don't know Tom Hardy's character. He's like a successful businessman.
He makes
and
buildings.
He makes buildings.
That was a good impression. Gotta
He
say,
makes
you nailed that
buildings.
accent. Buildings. I'm a builder. Oh, hello, Tom. Can't come to the game tonight. Sorry about that.
And
Can you
he's
put your
having-
mother on the phone?
He's
Sorry,
having a
continue.
conversation with numerous people in his life who kind of have this they each have their own like motivation and connection to him, and we don't know where he's going for the majority of the destination or for the film. But once we learn what that is and we learn about Tom Hardy's character, you kind of reverse engineer your thoughts about him, because at first when you start the movie you're like, I don't know how, like, I like this guy. He's really charming. He's really nice, but he's easily sympathizing. You can sympathize for him. And then by the end of the film, you kind of don't know how to feel about the guy. Do you feel bad for him, or do you want him to, I don't know,
Right.
You depressed
It's
me.
tough. It's tough. Like it. You're right. He has to like. It's so grounded. This is one of the most grounded movies I've seen because it's Tom Hardy. He's in like this really tough situation. He's in a tough situation, and in this car ride, he just has to have everything be figured out by the time he is finished. You know. So he has to talk. Hold on. Sorry about that. Man, roommates, right? No. So he's lost my train of thought.
It's a grounded movie.
He's in a tough position.
Yes, he's in a tough position. He has to let all this stuff out. So he's talking to like his coworkers about this. He's got this big project he got to finish. You know, you got
His
the
wife,
stuff with
his kid,
his wife. Tom Holland's in this movie.
a mystery character. Oh yeah, I didn't even
Well,
realize
no,
that was
he's
the
a
kid.
son. He's a son.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that.
Wait,
Holy crap.
he's in this
Tom
movie?
Holland.
He
Well,
plays
just his voice because this whole movie.
he plays Tom Hardy's
Tom Hardy's
son.
son. Yeah.
So Spider-Man and Venom. Wow.
Spider-Man is Venom's son in this movie. Yeah,
That's
that's crazy,
pretty funny.
right?
I didn't know that.
But
I didn't know
Yeah.
that he was in this.
did you watch it when it first came out?
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
I think I watched it this year, which is why
Oh, okay.
I'm still pretty fresh on this movie. But yeah, this is a solid film, and I would classify it as a road trip movie. I don't know, Brandon, if you would, since you don't see him walk into the hospital, but I'll allow it.
Okay,
I'll allow it.
okay. I'll agree. He doesn't do that. However,
Yeah.
I think it's one of the more unique road trip movies ever made because usually whenever there's a movie that takes it, that has a road trip, you don't see it all in the car unfold. And that's
Right.
really cool. I think that's really awesome. I've watched so many behind the scenes featurettes of like how they filmed the movie and how they made it super unique, and because it's you could get bored in one location, as Chris has told us with what he thought of 12 Angry Men. Like, not every movie is going to have that killer script, right, to keep you entranced, but like not only does this movie have a good script, but it has like good cinematography to go along with it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Chris, have you
I've-
seen it?
No,
I
not
think
Disney.
this movie's on Canopy, Chris, if you want
Oh,
to check it
really?
out.
I should. check it out.
I definitely recommend it.
So I've heard about this movie a lot. I mean, like the premise alone of like, the entire movie's a guy in a car and like you're just going along with his story. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like the first time a lot of people hear that concept, their first thought is like, oh, like some like dumbass film school student just kind of thought this up and like shit it out and
Right.
like yada yada yada. Like it sounds pretentious, but it's like I'm sure it's one of those things where it sounds like an A24 thing to pull, and I think
It
this
is an
an
A24
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. So, and like it's kind of like similar to me. Like, for example, in Ghost Story, they have like that 5-minute one shot of Rooney Mara eating pie. It's one of those like, oh, like why would they do that? Like that's so weird. Like, oh, they're just
love
being
that
quirky
scene.
and trying to be alternative and cool. But it's like, oh, they're like at least I know Brandon and I have had this conversation about like that pie scene is actually like really really powerful. So
Thinking
like
back on it, I would say yeah, but when I watched it in theaters, I laughed. I'm not gonna lie.
I get it.
But yeah.
But yeah,
I
get-
get it.
Yeah, I guess like Locke is kind of in that similar boat for me where it's like in concept it might sound like kind of like what the fuck, but like I'm sure that in execution I have faith that its execution is good enough that I might not even really notice.
It's a good movie. Nothing about it really like screams amazing to me. It's one of those things. I think we discussed this like a last episode maybe, where it's just like, yeah, like I can see like lots of things that are really good with that movie. There's just like it didn't get me all the way there, but I enjoyed it. And that's Locke. Okay, so Chris, your last film was Darjeeling, right? Oh shit. Okay,
So
it's up
fuck
to me
you.
for my third film.
Go to you.
I have to make my decision. No, he already
Oh.
talked about it. Why would we talk about it again? Okay, so I was. Oh, Jesus Christ! All right, my third film. Time for me to make my big boy decision. I'm bouncing between two films
I know.
for this. For everyone, if you saw on Twitter on August 20th, I watched two films today, and one of those. And I'm going to pick. Let's see. They're
Pick the right
they're
one.
two both very similar, which is why I can't put them both because that it would just be repetitive.
Pick the right one.
It's so the two movies are Beavis and Butthead Do America and Dumb and Dumber. And the movie I'm going to pick, one of them has better road trip elements. The other one is just funnier. But I'm gonna go with the funnier one. I'm doing Beavis and Butthead Do America. Okay. Yeah. When I was in 7th grade, I was one of those boys where I just thought Beavis and Butthead was the funniest shit. You know, that's when I was first introduced to them. I'm like hooting and hollering. I watched all the episodes, and then I got to this movie, and I rewatched it today, and I gotta say, it still holds up now more than ever. It's a great satire on, because the movie it's a road trip from Las Vegas to Washington, D.C. Beavis and Butthead, they fly to Las Vegas, but then they have to go on this quest to Washington, D.C., and so it's just the whole, like, commentary on, like, middle American, like, sort of Republican culture, you know? And, you know, it's Mike Judge. He's the King of the Hill guy, so he's really smart at this, and he just has these two idiot characters who they are completely unaware of the movie that they're in. Like, what they do, the plot revolves around them and their decisions. Like, they just want to score, you know? If they think they're going to go to Washington, they're going to score with a chick. Sick.
Yeah.
Beavis, this is the greatest day of our lives. And it's just them being stupid, watching donkey shit, and making jokes about town names while the CIA and weapons smuggling revolves around them. And it's I will always laugh at Mike Judd's performance as Butthead. Like, just every line he says makes me die laughing. And yeah, it still holds up today, and it's just such a great film. Brandon, I know you gave this half star, but you haven't reviewed it yet, so I haven't. I don't really know your side. You gave it 2.5. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. 2.5. You gave it 2.5 stars. You haven't really reviewed it yet. No. So let's discuss. Let's discuss this.
Okay, so I saw this movie recently because I was finishing up my friend's favorite movies, and
it's one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah, Ethan has had it on his list for a while, and it was one of the last ones I checked out. I am very mixed on this movie. I like it better than your other pick that you had.
Yeah.
But what I enjoyed more about this movie is because it combined smart and dumb humor, whereas like Dumb and Dumber is literally all dumb humor. You know, I didn't really feel like there was a bit of intelligence to that movie. Maybe emotional intelligence, but like no like comedic intelligence. Whereas Beavis and Butthead has so many great humorous moments and some that didn't really work for me. Like I love the characters actually. Like they're pretty interesting considering they're the dumbest people ever. They're dumber than Harry and Lloyd in my opinion because they just want to score and they're like teenagers. But I mean it works to the movie's strength because they're going up against the most intelligent people at the CIA and somehow outwit them at every turn by complete accident every time, and it just keeps happening. But one of my favorite moments of the movie is actually like this throwaway joke from one of the FBI agents, and they're like, one of the FBI agents walks in and he's like, "Hey sir, these are the two boys that were caught winking on in the car they were in," and then the guy's like, "Hey, you're an FBI agent. You never end a sentence with a preposition."
Like you expect him to like comment on the language because he said wanking.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Sir, you are an FBI agent. Never end a sentence with a preposition."
I laughed for like 3 to 5 minutes after that joke, and I was like, that was really good. And Mike Judge is so good at that because if you've seen his other movies like Office Space and Idiocracy, like he has a great knack for making something super intelligent out of something so dumb, you know. And honestly, I can respect it. I could definitely see myself raising my score, but I kind of walked away saying I probably want to watch this with friends next time. So yeah,
it's a good Friends movie, and we should rewatch it. We should show Chris. It's a good. Chris, is Beavis and Butthead MTV, was that popular in Hong Kong?
Everyone knows the name and the face of Beavis and Butthead. No one knows what they sound like. No one knows
Really?
what they do. Yeah.
Do you know what they sound like?
No,
Besides
I really
our
don't.
impressions?
I know they must.
Oh my
I know they
God.
sound really fucking funny.
Yeah.
Hey, Beavis.
I think it's like
What?
it's like one of those. I
Hey,
think
butthead. I
I've
am
never-
Cornholio.
I've never seen anything about like Beavis and Butthead. I've never seen like. Do they have a show? I don't know.
Yeah,
They did.
it was on
Yeah,
MTV.
I've never seen an episode. I've never seen any of their movies, but like based on the little bit that I know in terms of like their art style and whatnot, it kind of weird. This okay? Correct me if I'm wrong, but it kind of reminds me of the Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack in terms of like repulsive humor.
You know, it's kind of like, yeah, I can see that. Like, it's sort of like caricatures. You know,
Yeah.
like those caricature artists, but it's a bit more simplified than that. You know,
'Cause it was
I
the
think
90s.
I think that's completely intentional. Where Mike Judge is really starting to do like a caricature of Middle America with Beavis and Butthead. You know, and just like, yeah, Mike Judge is he loves to point out the stupidity of our culture, which I think like his films are very accessible to foreigners, you know, who like to like make fun of America and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I totally see that comparison. It's like it's a bit more like grittier, not really grittier in like in the art style, but yeah, you know, it's more adult, I guess. You know,
I prefer South
and how-
Park, but as an adult animation, but I can understand what you mean.
I could never get into South Park. I always saw the animation is so cheap, which it was. Like, it really started out, the guys had nothing, so they literally like moved paper around and stuff like that. But
I'll show
I
you
don't
some
know.
episodes when I get back.
I thought the kids were so annoying. I couldn't stand their voices and stuff like that. But that's why I never watched it. But yeah, maybe as I'm older now, I'll learn to appreciate it. Okay, yep, that's my last film, Beavis and Butthead Do America. Brandon, take us into your last one.
Mine's a classic. I'm gonna mention somebody or a film that I didn't choose, but I thought people would pick. I thought that Chris would choose We're the Millers by.
I was this close. It was between that and Darjeeling.
Okay,
Oh,
that's fair.
dodged a bullet there.
I don't know. I didn't choose it. I chose a better family road trip movie that's actually about a real family. 1983's National Lampoon's Vacation.
Oh.
Ah,
Classic.
all right.
Ultimate
Tell us about it.
classic.
Okay, wait. Real quick. I gotta ask this question.
Yeah.
So I've only ever the only shall I call it National Lampoon series film?
You can
I've
just
ever
call it the vacation movies or the
So-
National Lampoon series.
Yeah.
right?
So like the only National Lampoon film I've seen is the Christmas one that you showed us. Ethan, was that you? You showed us that.
Yes,
Um,
Christmas Vacation.
So like, can you explain what these are?
Yeah,
Okay,
the
so
first
National
four.
Lampoons. Oh, sorry, you go. This is your movie. Sorry,
Yeah,
buddy.
this is my fucking movie.
It's your movie. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Man.
We're gonna forgive each other at the end of this episode, guys. We're not.
Yeah, we're all
we
gonna
were
hug.
mad, but
I feel like the
movie fans are
mediator
gonna be
here.
passionate. You know,
Yeah.
you saw the Lita fucking Uncut Gems Twitter thing. That was passion. Okay. All right. So the National Lampoon Vacation movies, there was like 4 because it started out as like this SNL, like not a sketch or anything, but something that the SNL writers wanted to work on. And Chevy Chase got involved, and all these like actors with the associated with them got involved. And essentially, it's just this series of this family who never seems to age because they recast the kids in like every of the first 4 movies. Where they are basically traveling to different locations. I think the one that they do the least travel in is actually the Christmas one.
Yeah. They just
because
stay at home.
They just stay at home, but like Vegas Vacation and European Vacation and Vacation are all about going to a specific destination or going on a road trip to a specific location. And these movies are really endearing. The ones that are done recently are like less associated with those original 4. They're more like just sex movies for college students to like sloth over if they want to, because they want to watch something easy. But the first 4 are like genuine comedies. No offense, Eugene Levy.
Is that kind of is this series kind of like in the mix of like movies that film school students like to watch when they get high or something?
Though,
Because like that's kind of like what Superbad is.
well, not these ones. Maybe back in the 80s and 90s, but like I think more often than not, I would say like the ones that are from the 2000s, definitely. But
For sure.
the National Lampoon's Vacation one is this movie about a road trip across Middle America, just like Beavis and Butthead, but the opposite way from Chicago all the way to Wally World, which is, and this movie, Six Flags Magic Mountain, which is excellent. That's near us. It's like an hour away from us. Want to go, but COVID fucked that up. Anyway, great movie. It's a good movie about family bonding and like the kind of the horridness of like not having an itinerary and running into old family friends. It's my favorite out of the 2 vacation movies I've seen. It's my favorite one just because I grew up on it and I related to it so much. Every aspect of my life kind of revolved around this, and my family was like kind of old fashioned when it came to road trips and stuff like that, and I really enjoy it.
Nice. We're the opposites with the first 2 vacation movies, because
Right.
I watched this one for the first time last year, and I gotta say I was pretty underwhelmed. A lot of the humor is pretty dated, not in terms of like offensive. There are some like offensively dated jokes in this movie, but like it's very dated and like where it's just very, you don't really understand it because it's of the time, you know. And one of the biggest problems I had with this movie was like its narrative wasn't really cohesive, because you have these characters going from one location to another, but every stop felt like a little short film even of its own, you know. So each thing was like it was a sketch, I guess, because these were made by sketch writers, which I get it, but like for me as like a full total film to watch, it didn't really appeal to me, which is why I kind of like Christmas Vacation more, because I feel like that's just more cohesive, because it's like about surviving the holiday in this house. And I grew up on that film, like you grew up on this film, Brandon. But yeah, I can appreciate it. I mean, it's a pretty iconic like road trip movie. I would have been surprised if this wasn't brought up in this podcast, you know. And yeah, good pick. Chris, have you seen this movie?
Sorry, good.
Oh, go.
I just like how they're little vignettes, you know, they're very comedic vignettes that can be half paid attention to. Obviously, you want to pay full attention, but you can kind of have it on in the background if you want.
Right.
Anyway, Chris, go to you.
Yeah. I've only ever seen the Christmas one, which you showed us 2 Christmases ago, I think now.
Oh yeah.
Man, that was 2 Christmases ago. What the fuck?
That's time flies. All right.
Well,
And there it is. Let's run down our films one more time before we get into figuring out this final stack. So, Chris, do you want to take us through your 3?
Yep. My first movie is Are We There Yet? Second is Zombieland, and third is The Darjeeling Limited.
Okay. And mine is Steven Spielberg's Duel, Wes Anderson's The Darjeeling Limited, just like Chris, double stack, and then Mike Judge's Beavis and Butthead Do America. Brandon, finish us off.
My 3 films are The Wages of Fear, Luck,
The Waitress.
no, and National Lampoon's Vacation.
Okay. All right. So,
I've got a stack.
obviously, you got a stack.
Yeah.
Hit us with it.
I think we should start it off with Steven Spielberg's Duel. I think we should continue it with our double stack of Darjeeling Limited, and then I want to end it with Beavis and Butthead Do America.
That's a very good stack. Let's see if I have any problems with that. No, I do not. Chris, what do you think of that stack? No, give us your real one.
No, that's the real one.
No way.
Yes. You want to hear my reasoning, fellas?
I don't want to.
I think Zombieland should be here.
I disagree. I like Ethan's stack. You know why? Ethan's stack is every genre that you can think of, and it blends well together. And
Okay.
I like his
what
stack better because he's got a comedy element in there, he's got a thriller in there, and then Chris is furiously waving so that he can cancel me. And then the other one is like this drama comedy mix. So you have a perfect lead into the last one, whatever it ends up being.
Are you
All right.
simping for Ethan right now?
You're pretty simping for me, but guess what? I'm gonna say I disagree with your pick because I want to put it in Lock. I think we should replace Duel with Lock. That way, we get different countries road trips because this one's England. You know.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
that.
So we got
So-
England, India, and America.
And it's a very different type of movie. I think we can.
Yeah, and
it's very unique.
And that's a very drama-heavy one. You know.
I like that. Yeah.
Is Zombieland not a better fit than Beavis and Butthead?
I think
I
Beavis
don't
and
know.
Butthead is one of those. I didn't love it as much as Ethan did, granted, but I think it could really hop up in a rewatch because watching it with friends is going to really improve it. And a lot of the humor is great. I will admit. It's just not all of it is for me.
Wait, could I just tell another joke from Beavis and Butthead Do America? When they
Yeah,
go
go
to
ahead.
Yellowstone
Yeah.
and
They're
they're
pointing
talking
at the
about
guns.
Old Faithful.
Yeah.
No, so it's the
Yeah, the
the
guys.
park ranger's like, this geyser can blow over 15 feet in the air, and Beavis goes, so? Yeah, who cares? Yeah, and it can blow over 120,000 gallons of water. That's like not that much. Yeah, let's get out of here. It's so mundane and stupid, but it cracks me up.
I just think it's the perfect mindless comedy, road trip comedy that could go along with it. And yeah, I wanted to surprise Ethan with that because I know if he chose Dumb and Dumber, I would have said Zombieland definitely over that.
Yeah.
But I kind of
Okay.
think this has merit.
I played my cards right today. Let's just say I was getting pretty hysterical at the beginning because I thought I did, but then I thought I didn't. But let's just say now I think I did. If that makes any sense.
Let's bring back our favorite Dester quote. Just when
Oh, well, I got the whole document right here.
just when you thought I was out, you pulled
Yeah,
me back
pull me
in.
back.
Pull me back in. You pulled me back in. All right. That's a good.
Chris?
Are we all in agreement with this, Chris? I would love to put Zombieland, but here's my argument of not putting in it. If we ever do a zombie stack, I think that should be on it.
Because we already did
But we
Panoramics.
already done Train to Busan though,
No.
which is like the best zombie film.
That's true, but we can. There are other better
There's
ones
a-
like Zombieland.
There's
I'm
much
not better,
more
but
zombie movies out there.
I would love to have Zombieland be on that stack if we ever do one. Just saying.
Yeah.
Is that okay, Chris?
Okay.
You still get a film in the stack, Chris.
You still,
that's
you still
true,
got
Darjeeling.
Darjeeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
there
then
it
let's
is.
do it. This is our quintessential film stack. Let's
Wait.
run it down.
Did we do the
Brandon,
order?
I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now. Oh yeah. Fuck it, dude. Let's do the order.
Lock Darjeeling. And
Yeah,
then-
because I like how you pitched it. Let's do drama, little drama comedy, and then straight comedy to finish
Okay,
it off with a
that's
laugh.
fine. Okay, sounds good.
You like it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's run down the stack. Brandon, kick us off.
All right, our first film is 2013's Lock, a movie that takes place entirely in a car and is a road trip to an unknown destination as you learn about on the way, and it's very compelling drama.
Chris, take us into number 2.
Our number 2 film is a 2007 film directed by Wes Anderson. It's called The Darjeeling Limited. It follows 3 brothers on a road trip to visit their mother in India, and it's about family dysfunctionality and finding family in the most uncertain of places.
All right, and our last film is Mike Judge's Beavis and Butthead Do America, a road trip about 2 idiot Americans going from Las Vegas to Washington D.C., and it takes a look at a satirical look at our Americans' culture and the police force and government and in American action movies too, because it plays on a lot of tropes like that, and it plays on a lot of road trip tropes as well. And it's just a good laugh to end off this quintessential road trip movie stack. And there it is. Whew! What an emotional roller coaster of an episode. Let me tell you, we started off pretty boring.
Then we got pretty...
People didn't know what to say for their first picks. Then we immediately just skyrocketed into the fire is the most heat. I lost my temper there a bit. The room is hot, and I was just let's just say Brandon's been on a whole day of some bullshit for me, and I just had to let it all out right there. But guess what? We're a couple of film bros. We'll put on our fedoras. We'll go watch Fight Club, and we'll make up. We'll get over it, and we got over it by making this great film list. How we all feeling?
I feel relieved.
Can we end the episode with just Brandon saying, I feel relieved, and then just play the music?
Yeah.